A few weeks ago, we told you about a story in Forbes Magazine warning you to never borrow someone else's charger.
Well, now viewers have brought another claim to our attention that you should never use those airport USB charging stations that a lot of us have used before.
Definitely.
Well, tonight, Karen Swenson verifies that claim.
Who among us hasn't used a USB charging station at an airport before? If your cell phone is running out of juice, it's like finding an oasis of power. But consider this. A recent Forbes Magazine article warned you should never use airport USB charging stations because cybercriminals could install malware on your phone or download data without your knowledge. The article cited IBM security experts saying a growing number of nation-state hackers are now training their sites on travelers. And the transportation industry is now the second most attacked industry by cybercriminals, behind only financial services. But is the threat of using those airport charging stations as dangerous as it would appear? We contacted Dr. Tom Thomas, Tulane professor of information technology. He said USB can transmit data, so if you plug your chargers into any other device except for a wall socket, you are potentially at risk. Malware could theoretically be installed onto your phone, and data could be downloaded without your knowledge or consent. To avoid it, Dr. Thomas suggests getting a battery pack and plugging that into the airport power station and your phone into the battery pack. That would only allow the voltage to pass through the battery pack and not anything potentially harmful. So if you want to be 100% certain your phone is not hacked, the claim that you should never plug your phone directly into an airport USB charging station is true.
All right, and here's another option to reduce your risk if you want to use a public USB port. Forbes recommends that you buy something called a Juice Jack Defender. This only costs about $10, and it too basically blocks everything except voltage from passing through the cord.